live from the Hive.
And we're rolling.
So, hello and welcome to our latest careers talk as live from the Hive from Careers Worcestershire. So today we want to introduce you to some more of our Worcestershire businesses who are going to share their knowledge, advice and tips that might be useful in helping you on your career journey. So in this careers talk today, we're going to be focusing on public services and cyber security. So young adults from across Worcestershire have sent in their questions that we're going to put forward to our guests today. But before I do that, we'll get the panel to introduce themselves, tell us their name, a little bit about their business and what their business does.
Hello, I'm Sergeant Arnold, Raymond, first name Raymond. I'm the careers advisor for Worcestershire, Herefordshire and Gloucestershire. Obviously you see the kit, so I represent the Army. We offer quite a large range of jobs that you can actually do in the Army, but we'll get to that later.
Hello, my name is Michelle Clark. I'm from the University of Worcester, where I am a senior lecturer in policing with the School of Law, and I'm here to talk about the degree opportunities for those interested in joining the police service through our degree in professional policing.
Hello, my name is Holly Campbell. I work for Mercia Police. I am the Talent and Resourcing Coordinator. I'm here today to talk about our entry routes into policing as well as our staff opportunities.
Hello, I'm Police Constable Harry Curran, based out of Telford, a response officer. I'm just here to give a bit of perspective on what's going on in local policing.
Hi, my name is Leanne Dean. I'm HR Performance Manager for HMP Long Lartin, here to talk about the opportunities in the prison service.
Hi, I'm David Tompkins. I'm from the Development Manager. We're an apprenticeships and training provider starting and embedding people's careers in tech and digital, of which an element of that is cyber security. And I've got some prepared answers here from one of our employer partners, IASME Consortium, based in Herefordshire.
Fantastic, thank you very much. So thank you again to our panel for joining us today, and let's get stuck in with the questions. So Raymond, if we start with you, what made you choose and why should you choose a career within the Army?
Well, what made me choose? I think everybody who joins the Army has a different story to tell. Mine was my parents got divorced in the 80s. My mum left the UK, went back to Germany. I didn't know where my dad was for 18 years, and it was the Army who found him for me, so I kind of thought I owe it to them. I've been in nearly 17 years now, so 5 more years in my pensioner. That's quite cool. What was the second question, please?
Why should someone choose a career?
Oh, why should? Oh, well, everybody thinks that the Army itself is only fighting, screaming, shouting, running around. That's not the case. We have 7 different career streams with over 200 different jobs, ranging from a fighting force all the way to cyber security, nursing, policing. You know, we've got our Royal Military Police as well. It's just yeah, the options that you have within the military is far greater than anywhere else, really. In my opinion, obviously.
Fantastic, thank you. And Harry, what made you choose a career within the police, and why should someone think about a career within the police force?
So I wanted to join the police from when I was a much younger adult, so when I was about 19. I had a real interest in the police. For me, it was seeing a police car drive past, or when other people run away from danger and run away from things that scare people, the police and the response officers and any other sort of function within them, they're the ones that run towards the danger, because all they want to do is help people. And it's our top priority within the police force to be able to safeguard and to be able to protect people from harm, and also to be able to deal with any issues that we come across in a completely dynamic and always changing environment. So for me, that was the main driving force as to why I joined. And the reason why to join, I would say, is everything I've just said. If you like a challenge, or if you like to never have the same day twice, it's an amazing possibility of a career that's got no upper limit. You can go and go, and there's always something new to try, and there's always something new to learn.
Great, thank you. And Leanne, what made you choose, and why should you choose a career within the prison service?
So I asked a colleague these questions from an operational point of view, and when he first joined the service, he was looking for a job that was secure and opened lots of opportunities for progression. People often see the prison service as just prison officers, but there is a massive scope for specialism within the service, into security, counter-terrorism, corruption prevention. You can move into be a dog handler with the big biting dogs, or you can move to go up and become a governing governor of an establishment at some point. So there is a massive opportunity to progress from prison officer. So yeah.
Fantastic, thank you. And David, why should someone think about a career within cybersecurity?
Because it's really, really varied, as fellow panel members have been saying. I'm just going to widen that out a little bit and talk about tech in general. I think there can be that perception of tech being, it's all jobs of people in hoodies, in dark rooms with lots of code scrolling down screens, and that's completely not the case. If you're talking about cybersecurity in general, there's all sorts of roles within cybersecurity. There's lots of, every day is always going to be different. There's going to be working with customers, solving problems. Obviously, people have the interest in cyber and the security elements to it, but there's lots of sort of customer related roles, legal and compliance elements to it. So it's very, very varied and links to also the other areas of tech, such as data, software, tech and networking. So it is a very broad sector to get into.
Wow, thank you. Harry, if we come back to you, what skills and traits do you need to work within the police?
I think the most important one is communication, top of the batch. You need to be able to speak to people from all walks of life, any age, any situation, and these can be people on the worst days of their life. So in situations where we have to go towards these incidents, you need to be able to talk to people. Further to that, you need patience. People have a very difficult time in some cases with the police, whether positive or negative, so you need to be able to deal with these people in a polite and a calm manner. And then further to that, you need a bit of resilience, because it's not the easiest role, and I'd be lying to say it was an easy and it was always the best day and the best job you've ever done in your life, but it's a rewarding job, and to be able to have all those three qualities, it makes it even more so rewarding, I would say.
Fantastic, thank you. And Leanne, what skills and traits do you need to work within the prison service?
Yeah, pretty similar to the police. We do deal with some of the same people at different points of their journey. So yeah, good relationship and rapport building skills quite quickly. You know, sort of if you've got someone coming onto the wing, you need to manage them, you need to sort of create good relationships with them to make them comply with what they need to comply with. You know, finding common grounds, building respect with them, and building those trusting relationships to help increase the chances of de-escalation of any situations. Resilience also, again, there are challenging days being a prison officer, we can't hide from that, but just being able to be resilient but also be able to ask for help when you need it, so you know, being quite an open person, talk to your line manager and get that support when you need it. And finally, being able to empathise with people's situations. The prison service is focused on rehab culture, so rehabilitation, reducing reoffending, so being able to empathise with someone's journey really helps to keep them guided on that path.
Thank you. And Raymond, what skills and traits do you need to work in the army?
It depends on what job role you're going to go into. So if you want to be a chef, fully qualified chef in the army, school qualifications, you don't need any. So no GCSEs. I'm not encouraging anybody not to do GCSEs, by the way. If you want to be a nurse in the army, you need 127 UCAS points. So that's the top and that's the bottom, varies. Personal skills, none, because we'll teach and train, mentor, coach people to become leaders. So there's not really much here in that area what we should need.
Fantastic, thank you. And David, what skills and traits do you need to work within cybersecurity?
I think as an apprenticeship provider, a lot of the time we're talking to prospective apprentices, and what we're really recommending is that they just have that level of enthusiasm and that sort of get up and go kind of attitude, and a lot of the employers that we talk with and work with, that's really what they're looking for. They're not necessarily overly concerned about huge amounts of technical knowledge. Whilst that is useful, and you've got to have some level of technical knowledge, it's really the attitude they're looking for. I'd say the other thing with cybersecurity, very much for career entrance, so people who might be leaving school, leaving college, and looking at cybersecurity and looking at it as very glamorous and something they want to get into. I suppose a bit of patience. You're maybe not necessarily going to get that immediate role in cybersecurity because it's a very sensitive area. And there will be employers that will probably look to, they would want to know an employee a little bit better, know that they're trustworthy and all that kind of thing. But it's the patience and the understanding that you can get into that career into tech and you can move into cybersecurity. So just that level of thinking about a career in the long term rather than the immediate, I'm going to get that job straight away.
Fantastic, thank you. And Raymond, what do you enjoy most about your role?
Well, I play with tanks. Challenger 2 tanks. So, and I chose it from the start when I joined the army. That's what I wanted to do. So, like I said, nearly 17 years in, and I still enjoy it. That's why I volunteered to do this posting. It's called posting. 2 years recruiting, because I still enjoy it. And I want to pass that on. The opportunities, I mean, you're not just a tank driver. You start off as a tank driver, and then you work your way through all the way up to commanding the vehicle, and then if you're lucky enough to become a troop leader as a staff sergeant, we call them sergeant majors in our regiment, so please don't get into trouble. You can also become a troop leader. That means you're leading a troop of tanks. There's 4 tanks, 16 to 18 personnel into a battlefield, really. The opportunities as well, like qualifications wise, I've got a level 3 diploma in engineering, just because we have to fix our own vehicles to a certain level before really jumping it. I've got a level 3 diploma in IT because I teach signals, radio communications. And just everything else that goes with it, you know, the adventure training, the sports, all that kind of good stuff. Like, you know, it's like in all the other jobs here at this panel, not one day's the same. You know, it's definitely something. I joined when I was 25, so I was a bit older. The only thing I regret is not joining when I was 18, because I did City Street, you know, and it kind of bored me a little bit, but this is amazing.
Great, thank you. And Harry, what do you enjoy most about your role?
I would say it's probably got to be the rapport that you build with the community that you work within. My function as response police officer is that I don't always get the chance to be able to be on the streets all the time, going to like the meetings and the council parish functions. But I found that personally you build up an amazing bond with the community that you work within. And for me at least, the reason why I joined the police, as I said, was to be able to give back and to be able to help people. So I think the reason why I enjoy it the most is just for that I can go and have these moments where I can help communities and that I can develop an amazing relationship with them that can help foster, you know, improvement in the community in general.
Great, thank you. And Leanne, what do people enjoy most about working within the prison service?
Yeah, so in my role I speak to a lot of people about what they like about working at Long Lartin. And again, similarly, it's the variety of work that you do. No 2 days are the same. There's a lot of variety of people within the staffing group as well as within the prisoners. You know, everyone's got a different experience. So, you know, they're very varied there. You're not just working on the landings. You will be required to go out and supervise prisoners in workshops within the establishment, so taking them to work, making sure they get there safely, making sure they do what they're supposed to be doing. You'll also be responsible for making sure they get to education, to programmes to help deal with their sentence planning, and also you do key work with them. So there's a lot of that rehab culture that I spoke about earlier. A lot of that works when you have these key talks with prisoners and sort of help them move through their sentence planning and get their categories reduced so that they can hopefully eventually work down to like a category D prison and open prison and be released into the community.
Oh, thank you. And David, what do people enjoy most about working within cybersecurity?
Again, like the other panel members, it is the variety. Cybersecurity is absolutely key in all sorts of different sectors. So you could be working in the armed forces or the police or blue light services in cybersecurity. Where I used to work at an occupational health firm, there was a distinct cyber element to that. So you can pretty much work in any sector and work in a cyber role. In terms of the actual role itself, the people I spoke to, I asked me, they were highlighting things like being creative, puzzle solving, being details oriented, working with customers, helping people to understand technical elements when they're kind of non-technical themselves, you know, translating the sort of more detailed technical language for them. So again, it's that kind of level of variety.
Fantastic, thank you. Harry, what's one of the main challenges that you faced in your role and how did you overcome it?
I think probably one of the main challenges I faced would be the distinct change that I personally have felt as a person moving from a civilian over towards being a police officer. I think that it changes you deeply mentally when you join the police, because you can see people, as I've said, on their worst days, and you can deal with some very difficult situations. So for me, at least, I think it will be the difficulty sometimes that I've had in dealing with what I've had to deal with and go to the situation I've had to go to. But I will say the best part about it is the support network that you get from Mercia Police, and that goes right from the very top all the way down to your colleagues that you're working with. They give you such amazing support that you come out every time stronger and stronger. So.
Fantastic, thank you. Leanne, what's one of the main challenges that you faced and how have you overcome it?
Okay, I feel like I'm stealing all of Harry's answers now. So there are, unfortunately, within the prison service, we do deal with a lot of violent offenders, particularly in our category A prisons. You know, they are the highest threat levels that we have in prisons. Dealing with those who have self-harm, so a lot of mental health issues that we have to deal with within prisons, and unfortunately self-inflicted deaths. You know, so they are probably the most challenging situations that prison officers have to face. We do train them. You know, we have a lot of training around how to deal with violent offenders, such as control and restraint techniques and things like that, to keep our staff safe, and also mental health training to help deal with those that are showing mental health problems, but also to help them identify within themselves when they need some support as well. We have a lot of support networks that help with that. We have some great peer-related support networks as well as occupational help. So I think that's probably the most challenging thing, but it's just accessing all the help that you need with those.
Great, thank you. And Raymond, what's one of the main challenges you faced and how have you overcome it?
There's plenty of them. Anything in the military that you do for the first time, like getting into the back of a helicopter the first time, you know, if you've never been in one before, going on tour, so Iraq, Afghanistan, you know, the first couple of weeks you're there, it's challenging, of course, because you've never been there, you don't know what to expect. All sorts of different challenges. If you're in a position of authority, like sergeant, for example, and then you've got same like with the police and the prison service, you've got obviously people under you that you look after, and then they have mental issues, or anything really. You need to be able to deal with that as well. So it varies between, you know, stuff that you might see in the movies to actual stuff, you know, domestic stuff at home.
Great, thank you. And David, are there any challenges that you faced within cyber security?
I think people joining the sector, it depends on who they are, but I'd say typically sometimes career entrants might have the sort of behaviours side of joining the workplace as a steeper learning curve, and something they didn't quite expect. They probably entered the workplace thinking, oh, I need to be very, very technical, and actually it's more of the communication skills and working to deadlines and self-management of work that might be more of the challenges. And if someone comes from a more technical background, it might be, and I hate to sort of tar people with a brush, but it might be the more sort of customer-facing things, side of the roles that might be a bit more of a challenge. Or likewise, if someone is a bit more of a person-oriented, people-oriented person, it might be more of the technical elements to the roles that are a bit more challenging there. What I say about the sector as a whole is, and in my conversations with IASME, and indeed most of the tech sector, there is an absolute desperate need in the sector for much more diversity, more women, more people from the BAME community, more LGBTQ+ people in the sector. So as a whole, the sector really does want to make itself more attractive to a much more wide variety of people. It desperately needs that kind of variety of skill sets.
Great, thank you. And Raymond, can you tell us a little bit about the job opportunities that are available within the Army and where someone would go to find out more information?
So to start with, for more information, just go on the Army website. Yeah, that's all you need to do really. But the job roles, oh my God, how much time we've got? We've got 7 different career streams: combat, medical, logistics, communications, IT and intelligence. We've got engineering, that breaks down into 2 separate areas. We've got the Royal Engineers, they build everything, so that's your apprenticeship route. You bring a carpenter and all that kind of good stuff. And then you've got the Royal Electrical Mechanical Engineers, they're the guys that fix everything, from a pistol to a tank. They also do metalsmiths, armourers, like I just mentioned there. Then we've got, I forgot one. We've got Royal Army Corps of Music, so if you've already got a pre-qualification music instrument, you can join, and what they do in London, all the ceremonial stuff. We've got HR, finance and support, so that's your clerks and your Royal Military Police as well. And everything else breaks down into little nitty-gritty jobs, like infantry. If we talk about infantry, we've got the paras, creme de la creme of the British Army. And I'm saying that as a tanky. They are the best the Army's got to offer. Then you've got the light infantry, they're on your feet. Then you've got the mechanised infantry, they use their wheeled vehicles like Armamix, stretch Land Rover with no roof. And you've got the armoured infantry. And within the infantry, again, it breaks down into support weapons, snipers, javelin, mortars. So each job has a different, multiple different jobs you can go into. The best one is obviously nurse, because we pay for everything. Go to university, no fees, no nothing. And you get a wage while you're there as well, so it's quite kind of amazing. But yeah, it's just too much to tell today, basically. You really need to do research, so that's what I'm telling everybody. You need to do your research, really get that buzz feeling, I'm interested in that, and then we'll push you down that direction.
Great, thank you. And Leanne, can you tell us a little bit about the job opportunities within the prison service and where someone would go to find out more?
Absolutely. So at the minute, we've got a massive recruitment drive for prison officers and for our operational support grade staff, which are band 2 staff. So to find out more about those, you can go to prisonandprobationjobs.gov.uk/about HMP Long Lartin. That'll take you to our own landing page where you can see some testimonials from staff about what it takes to be a prison officer, and also links through to our recruitment page and how to apply for jobs there. As a prison officer, we will offer you the opportunity to do a level 3 apprenticeship in custody and detention, free of charge, again getting a wage for that as well, and that allows you to study alongside working for a year to get that qualification. You don't have to do it, but it is an opportunity there for you.
Wow, thank you. And Holly, can you tell us a little bit about the opportunities available for those interested in policing?
Yeah, of course. There's quite a few different entry routes into policing. We offer an apprenticeship route, which is the Police Constable degree apprenticeship. The requirements for you to get into that job is 64 UCAS points and English and Maths GCSE A to C. So what we offer is a starting salary of a minimum of £26,000. You will train for 3 years to be a police officer alongside working with our training provider to obtain a level 6 degree in professional policing. We also offer an entry route for people who already hold a degree, so we have a degree holder entry programme, similar programme although it's 2 years, and you'll obtain a postgrad diploma in policing. And we also offer a opportunity for those that decide they want to go to university and maybe study policing. So we have a professional policing degree entry route, Michelle to my right, we were talking about the entry route for that degree, but we offer staff routes as well. I'd suggest if you are interested in policing to look on our website, West Mercia Police. We cover Herefordshire, Shropshire and Worcestershire, and there's loads of brilliant entry routes into policing.
Fantastic, thank you. Michelle, can you tell us a little bit more about the professional policing degree? What areas of study does it cover and what opportunities does it bring?
Yeah, absolutely. So as Holly said, the University of Worcester and the professional policing team, we support entry into the police service across England and Wales, but naturally, part of the community, we work really closely with West Mercia Police. So at the University of Worcester, we support the degree holder entry programme by way of plethora of degrees that we offer. For example, the BA Honours Criminology with Policing. But as Holly mentioned, if you want to study the National Policing Curriculum prior to actually signing up to the police service, then you can then thereafter join, for example, West Mercia Police via the professional policing degree route, what they call the pre-join degree route, which means you get all of that studying before you actually join the police service and get to experience what it's like to be a university student, and you don't miss out on that experience. So the BA Honours degree in professional policing at the University of Worcester, it's College of Policing approved, and College of Policing are the professional regulatory body for all police services across England and Wales. So it's their curriculum and it's a mandatory programme by them. There are 44 universities across England and Wales that actually offer that programme. And I launched that degree programme last year, so we've just got our first intake of policing students. So what we do is all of the knowledge and the understanding and the academic study of what it means to be a police officer, what the police service actually does, what it means to be involved in policing and how to police is all studied within a safe university environment across a 3-year full-time degree. It might sound like it's, you know, university degrees, it's a bit book heavy. It isn't. There's lots of practical exercises the students get involved in. They'll get to wear the uniform, they'll get to practice handcuffing, they'll get to practice stop and search, for example. We work really closely with West Mercia Police, who support the delivery of the programme in their community. So we go to West Mercia Police headquarters and use their mock custody suites, for example. And across those 3 years, you'll study 5 core key areas of policing, including roads policing, response policing, criminal investigation, information and intelligence, and problem solving. There's a team of 3 of us that deliver this programme and teach on the criminology with policing. I'm an ex-West Mercia police officer. I was a detective and a sergeant. I was with the force 17 years. And the other 2 policing lecturers are also ex-police officers. So students get that link with the local policing community, support for recruitment at the end of their degree. They also get taught by qualified lecturers, as we all are, but also ex-professional police officers ourselves.
Great, thank you. And David, can you tell us a little bit about your cybersecurity apprenticeships and where people can go to find out more?
Yeah, certainly. So TDM is just launching its Cybersecurity Technologist Level 4 programme, so obviously include all the links for that. As I mentioned before, it's about the progression into cybersecurity. So people looking to get into the sector can consider other apprenticeship programmes such as the Information Communications Technician Level 3 apprenticeship, which is very much a help desk support role. They could be looking at software apprenticeships, such as the Software Engineer Level 4. They could be looking at data technician roles and data analyst roles, and data analyst at Level 4 is another programme which is about to launch. And they could also look at more sort of software support programmes such as Digital Support Technician. So on our website, the developmentmanager.com, there's a vacancies page, there's a page for all of those different apprenticeship standards. You can of course go on the national apprenticeship websites to find out more information generally about apprenticeships. I've been referring to one of our employer partners, IASME Consortium. They have a vacancies page on their website, and I'm sure we'll include all the links for that. And there are other sort of cybersecurity networks on LinkedIn, such as Discord and LinkedIn for networking in cybersecurity groups, so people can take a look at those as well.
Fantastic, thank you. And finally, Raymond, any final words of advice for our viewers today?
Yes, really look into what we can offer. You know, it's not a good start if you think about joining the army and you don't know what you want to do, because of the vast amount of different jobs we offer. You know, it's people will then join the army, go down a route that they don't really like. They just thought, you know, I need to have a job basically, and then they won't like it at all. It's an amazing career. You know, there's no other job that will give you a full pension, a massive payout at your 22 years service. Now it's 24, it's changed 12 years and 12 years, but 24 years, you know, and that's you for done, basically. The amount of stuff that you can do, adventure training, you know, you send you skiing, and I'm not joking, I've been scuba diving in Cyprus, I didn't pay a penny for it. You know, go skiing, they'll teach you how to ski. You can become an instructor. If you want, you can be a skydiving instructor, I was going to say parachute there, a skydiving instructor, yeah, you know, it's just the amount of stuff that they can offer, you know, driver's licenses, all of them. I've got a C+E, a B+E, never paid a penny for it. You know, it's a totally different life, totally different life. That's what it is. It's different lifestyle, different life. It's amazing. It's amazing. Hands up, it's amazing.
Great, thank you. Michelle, any final words of advice?
Yeah, as I said previously, being a police officer, it's a life-changing vocation, as Harry has already said, and it might be the case that you want to find out a little bit more out about policing and perhaps do that studying that Holly spoke about that happens in force via the other routes. Maybe you want to do that first at university, and the university gives you the opportunity to actually learn some additional skills, some employability attributes as well. So studying a policing degree with us at Worcester doesn't mean you have to be a police officer. It's still a valid degree. For any criminal justice, you could go and work for HMP Long Lartin, you could apply to be a prison officer afterwards. It keeps your options open and enables you to get a valid degree programme, which would also support you, of course, to enter the police service via the pre-join degree route. And all of our courses are available. If you just any search engine look at University of Worcester, the first page will bring up a course search page. You can look at professional policing course, see exactly what we do, criminology with policing, law, etc., etc.
Great, thank you. Holly, any final words of advice for today?
Yes, so policing is most likely a career for life. There's so many different roles that you can do within policing. We may not teach you how to scuba dive, but there's a few more things that we could teach you. You can go into so many different roles within policing. You can't be made redundant as a police officer. You've got job security, you have a good pension, although you may not be thinking of it now. It's really important to think of for the future. And because we cover such a wide area in terms of geography, you can go and work in so many different aspects of policing. So it really is a good career to get yourself into.
Thank you. Harry, any final words of advice?
Yeah, I'd sort of mirror what Holly said. In the few years that I've been in the job, I've worked in every area of West Mercia multiple times. I've worked with firearms officers, I've worked with traffic, I've worked with STO, which is our sexual offences officers. I've worked upstairs with our detectives. I've worked all over the place, and the sheer variety of experience that I've got in even such a relatively short time compared to people that have been in the job for 25 years is unbelievable. So I think it changes completely the perspective you have once you've joined the job of just how much there is available to you. And it can seem a little bit daunting shortly into the job because there's just so much variety and so much experience that you're able to get. And very similar, I think, to what the Army have said, that it's having an idea of what you'd like to do, but then actually when you join the job, you may see that it's something completely different that you love. So come with an open mind.
Great, thank you. Leanne, any key words of advice?
Yeah, I think for the prison service, think wider than what you've probably seen on TV. I've mentioned quite a few times, it isn't just about working on the wings and working on the landings and knocking prisoners up. You know, there's a lot of other things that you do to help guide them through their time with us. Long Lartin is a long-term establishment, so we do have people in there for quite some time, but you can still influence their progression through their time in prison. As I said before, you can work in security, counter-terrorism, serious organised crime teams. You know, you can go and work in the wider MOJ. So you know, there is really a massive amount of opportunity for you to specialise and diversify once you're in. And come and see us. We come to all the career talks, or the career days that the Job Centre put on. So come and talk to us and see what's there for you.
Thank you. And David, any final words of advice?
I'm just going to copy everyone else and just say keep an open mind. I think first of all just understand that cyber isn't just some kind of strand that you look at in isolation. It does relate to all sorts of other not only industries but technical areas such as data and software, tech and networking, as I mentioned. And again, just wanted to reinforce the point that just because it's a role in tech doesn't mean you're going to be working just in tech. It exists in all sectors, and you're not necessarily going to be doing that kind of real technical, staring in front of screens of code kind of work. There are roles like that, but there are plenty of roles which are customer facing, working with stakeholders, problem solving, being creative, communication, all of those sorts of skill sets. So again, just copying everyone else and say keep an open mind.
Wow, thank you. So we've come to the end of our questions for today. So I'd like to thank our panel once again for joining us, and thank you to our audience for watching.